welcome to the range. Today I thought we would compare three of the biggest revolvers that have ever been manufactured for production purposes. I mean, yeah, people make arbitrary massive ones, but these are actually production guns. And two of them in stainless steel, one's in an anodized metal. It's gonna be very interesting to shoot these. I don't enjoy shooting big revolvers like this particularly. I think they're of limited sort of functionality, but they're interesting to shoot, so we'll give it a go. This is a Ruger Super Redhawk in 44 Magnum. You can see there, it actually, I mean, you could sort of say that's actually the standard old type of Redhawk with a 2-inch barrel. And then this has this enormous 6-inch barrel extension, which gives it a total of an 8-inch barrel. This will take 6 rounds and is one formidable weapon. This is in stainless steel, made by Ruger. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think with 44, this will be fine to fire. It's got a lot of weight to it. I think that'll be relatively comfortable actually. But I think it looks a lot better like that as a weapon than it does like that. That's my personal opinion. That, I mean, you could actually cut that off and you'd actually have quite a nice little handgun. Right. Next up is our Smith & Wesson 460. Now, some of you familiar with this. This is a heck of a round. This is a very big round, much bigger than a 44. This is a five round chamber. That's a lot nicer looking gun in my mind. It's got the ported front end, which is quite nice. Quite a nice front sight, but that won't be the original. That'll be an extra, I'm sure. These have come in, again, this is a probate sale. This is a 460 XVR. Going to be interested to fire that. This will be, we'll try that two-handed to start with, I think. So we've got the Taurus Raging Bull here, also in 44. This is a steel gun with an anodized metal finish. I quite like the finish of this actually, as opposed to the stainless steel finish of the other two. Quite nice. Got a ported upper rail just to make it look a bit cool. Quite an interesting opening mechanism in this gun. You've got your normal catch here, which lets the chamber fall out, the cylinder fall out. But with this one, you have to unlock both. So you pull this and this at the same time. This one forward, this one down, and then you can roll the cylinder out. If you don't do that, it's not going anywhere. And that on its own doesn't go anywhere. So yeah, a little bit fiddly to start with, but you get used to it, it's fine. Okay, this has quite a nice rubber grip. Again, quite a decent weight to this. I think I can fire this one-handed without a problem. This is in 44. We're going to fire them on the 20 yard range because these are not close quarter guns of any sort of type. They're more sort of for messing around on target practice and so on. I mean, you could stop a buffalo with one, I suppose, if that's what you had to do. But we're going to fire them here and we're going to see how well we do as far as accuracy goes, and also just rate them to see which is the nicest to shoot. I think initially I'd say the Taurus is the nicest of them to hold. The grip's nice, the weight, slightly shorter barrel. I think that's probably a 5-inch, 6-inch barrel. So this is actually feels like a nicer gun. Now, when we first started to sell Taurus, which is 12, 13 years ago, we had a lot of problems with their revolvers. We had several chambers which were cracked and so on, and they were being at that point made in Brazil. I know they do now have a factory in America. All their pistols we're getting now are from the States, and I must say the quality seems to have picked up really significantly over the last few years, so well done Taurus on that. Taurus, of course, also own Rossi, part of the same group. Okay, so let's give these a whiz and see how we can do. If I can put, we'll do 5 rounds with each one. If I can put 4-inch group, I'd be relatively happy with that with these guns. Right, so we're going to fire these hand cannons in a moment, and I just thought I'd do a comparison of the size of the ammunition. So there is a 44 round, which in itself is actually a pretty big round. It's quite significant. But that is the 460 round. An absolutely massive difference in the two. Yeah, huge difference there in those 2 rounds, which is why I'm going to start shooting the 460 with 2 hands and not one. Right, let's give them a go. Okay, so we're now ready to fire the Taurus Raging Bull in 44 Magnum. So I've got 6 rounds in here. The range is 20 yards, and we'll shoot for the center of the target and see how we get on. Okay, so that's our 6 rounds. We've got the extractor there, so take the cartridges out, all good. My glasses were steaming up at the end, but that's not to make a terrible excuse for shooting. It looks pretty pathetic from here. Okay, so those are earlier shooting we were doing. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I fired 6 rounds. I'm guessing that one there is 2 going in there. I can't see another round in the target. I don't think I missed the target. These were my last 2 rounds. I was struggling a bit with the glasses steaming up. It's not particularly great. It's not an easy gun to shoot. Personally, I don't think it's a particularly enjoyable gun to shoot. And yeah, what I'll do, I'll bring it close to the target later so I can actually see where I'm shooting. We're shooting at 20 yards, so it's quite a long way. And yeah, not particularly impressive that. And it's not a very nice gun to shoot. I mean, there's a lot of recoil, and yeah, for me personally, it's not the sort of thing I like. Okay, so now we're going to try the Ruger Super Redhawk in 44. Now, this cylinder pops straight out like that. And what a difference from the Taurus, where you have 2 lugs which you have to unlock. I must say, this is a much nicer feel to it. It's much more fluid, very easy to cycle. So this is a longer barrel. I'd expect to do better with this as far as my shooting goes. Yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, so let's give this Ruger Super Redhawk a go. It's in 44. Try double-handed now. Okay, so we've got the usual plunger type of extractor there on those, 6 rounds, and push those out, very easy. Right, I actually quite enjoyed shooting that. That's it's a lot nicer to shoot than the Taurus, a lot nicer. Longer barrel makes it more accurate, easier to shoot accurately, but just the whole feel of it is nicer. So I started off shooting one-handed with 3 rounds, and I'm not 100%, I think that's that one, and that one. I'd love to say I was aiming for this forehead at that range, but I wasn't. I was actually aiming for here. So we've got 4 in here. These are the last 3. And then 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 first, and then those. Not terrible, but so much better than the Taurus. Having said that, I shot the Taurus one-handed. I didn't shoot it with 2 hands. So now we're going to give it a go with the hand cannon, which is the 460. Which I'm a bit apprehensive about. I'm going to shoot it with 2 hands. Here we're going to go for this and see how we get on. Okay, 460 Smith & Wesson VSR. As I showed you the rounds earlier, that's a round for this, which is just simply enormous for a handgun. It's a massive weapon. This particular one's in stainless steel, rubberized grip, single release for the chamber, which is actually not really nice compared to the Taurus Raging Bull we tried earlier, which has the double lock. This has the ported barrel. This has by far and away the nicest sights, although this is a second handgun from Probate, and I think this is not the original front sight. In fact, I'm sure it's not. It's actually been modified. You can see it's some sort of day glow type of sight, and that makes it really, really defined in the front sight, which is very nice, in the rear sight rather. So right, let's load this up and give it a go. Right, this is the 460. We're going to go for the center of the target. This is a massive gun. I'm going to fire it two-handed and see how we get on. Right, here we go. It's just above the bull, so that's quite nice. So what's interesting about that test we've just done with those hand cannons is the one I prefer to shoot the most is the 460. It's got vast percussion within the range. I mean, it's you really feel it compared to the other guns. But it's actually a nicer, smoother shooting experience with that particular gun. Sure, the gun weighs quite a bit and so on, so it takes some of the recoil out. I didn't find it difficult to shoot. I only shot it two-handed. But also, when we look at our grouping, we've got 2 in here, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. So pretty much the best grouping I got out of the 3 guns, but also the nicest to shoot, but also just a massive, massive hand cannon. And I really enjoy that. I think I'll probably take that hunting in the next few weeks, see if we can shoot something with it. That'd be really interesting. It's certainly very capable mid-game or light-game hunting weapon, no question about it. We'll stick a scope on it and see how we get on.